American. I did it. All right. That's where I came from. I watch too much American TV. So this is just really kind of a impromptu live video just to cover a couple of topics, give you an opportunity to ask some questions, to just get a little bit of an insight into how the whole thing will work by me talking instead of just typing stuff. Sometimes I find it easier just to rabble on and get stuff out there than it is to type. And also this morning I was actually looking at some of your survey responses, which I again greatly appreciate. Thank you very much for that, as well as the questions you're answering when you join the group. As you may be aware, this is my first free challenge that I've done, helping a broad range of people across the country. You know, some of you might know that we have a gym here in Holystone, Newcastle, and we've been working within that area for 4 years, helping hundreds of women learn how to lift weights, beginners like yourself. Some people may be a little bit more experienced than others, but you know, we've got some good experience working with women, generally beginners. And I'm looking forward to share the knowledge that I've learned, share some results, some case studies, and help you advance with whatever you want to do going forward. So yeah, so touching on them questions again, most of them are what I expected, like, you know, technique, form, make sure you don't hurt your back, specific areas that you want to work on, things like that. And those questions and those, well, I'll be covering most of that inside of the training videos that I'll be uploading at 6 a.m. every single day, the tasks, the challenge, if you like. So that'll be covered predominantly in there, and then also in the Q&A videos as well, where I can like sort of help you with like some coaching points and some questions, just things that you might be thinking about during the week. Again, just elaborate on stuff like things that you've mentioned in the questions during the Q&As. So this one's interesting. This one's one of my favorite things, because I was surprised that there was two women who wrote it in the questions, scared in case they get too bulky. I'm just going to take some water. I'm loving me lemon water in the mornings at the moment. I was scared of getting too bulky, and it came up on the survey. There was only one person who did it, who mentioned it. And it's interesting because it was one of the things that I used to have to explain and help people overcome a while back, when I first really started. I thought it was kind of like, you know, that sort of perception, if you want to say that word, had gone, but it appears it's still lingering around there a little bit. So I wanted to address it in this video, because there's only a couple of people who mentioned it, but maybe it's on your mind, or maybe it has been in the past, and just maybe it's not the biggest issue, but it's something you might be thinking about. So I just wanted to address it in this video, just to give you a bit of a just to kind of give you that confidence to know that you're not going to get bulky before you even start. And yeah, maybe just break down a little bit of some fear or some objections you might have around that, or some concerns, just to give you that push going into this week, if it is something that might be holding you back a little bit in the background. Now, what I'm about to tell you is not only taken from my experience of 4 years of helping hundreds of women, and knowing that you won't get bulky from that aspect, especially based on what we're doing. Because remember, this is for beginners. This is for people who want to start lifting weights. You're not going to get bulky in these 7 days. You're not going to get bulky doing weights at the standard and the level that I'll be teaching anyway. That doesn't mean that women can't get bulky. Women can, but it's very, very difficult. And here's the reason why it's very difficult for women to get bulky. The women don't produce enough testosterone like what men do in order to increase the size of muscles to the extent which men can. But not only that, but the female hormones are basically fighting against, to the easiest way to put it is they're fighting against muscle size production. So your hormones, and that's also one reason why women find it harder to, generally speaking as well, by the way, you know, to tone up and to see some like sort of muscle change in general, never mind get bulky, is because like the female hormones are not really, there's not enough testosterone to promote it and to make it happen, but the female hormones are also fighting against it at the same time. It's not impossible though. You can be done. Your training's just got to be good, got to be consistent. You've got to be using weights, and cardio is a big no-no as well. When it comes to really wanting to like get toned up. Not to say you can't do cardio. And anyway, what the science and the education around that is something that I've learned throughout my 4 years of helping hundreds of women back in college and university. But also, this is a great book if you're really interested in learning about like the sort of like the female physiology when it comes to exercise. This is a fantastic book. It's called Raw. I don't know if you can see that there. I can post it in the comments if you want. A woman called Stacey Sims. She's a female physiologist. She works with high level athletes, and she just basically breaks down the sort of the science behind female physiology and the difference between men and women. And it goes way back from an evolutionary point as well. It's really quite interesting. If you're into that sort of stuff, like you like to understand like the ins and outs of things, and it's worth a read. If you're not that bothered, you just want to lift some weights and look a bit better, then you won't be interested in that. Some big words, some science, some data, but it's interesting, and it gives you some tips as well and some exercises to do. But she's really big on lifting weights and using that as a mechanism to not only improve your body shape, look better and feel better, but it's really beneficial for as you age as well. Which actually is just reminded us, there was a couple of women who mentioned about like things like injuries and osteoporosis and stuff like that. And she touches on this in the book that men and women, as we age, everyone knows that you're basically just slowly deteriorating. And because of what I just mentioned about the female hormones are already sort of not deteriorating your muscles, but they're already sort of slowing down the process of building strong muscles. So couple that with the aging process and then menopause, it's more important for women as we get older, or as women get older, to lift weights to slow down that process and to keep you strong and able-bodied, if you like. And that's the stuff that I primarily learned from that book, which is really fascinating. And she deals with women who go through this process, and she helps them. It's mainly athletes, so it's quite a high level, but the information can be passed down to just a general average Joe who wants to exercise. It's just generally a good practice to lift weights and eat more protein as you age, especially because you're slowly deteriorating, so it's more important to do that. So yeah, that's some of the little pointers I wanted to take away from that, and just to sort of give you the clarity that you won't get bulky. Now, yeah, but I wanted to also say, sorry if I'm talking a bit fast here. I'm from Newcastle. I don't know if any are listening, but I tend to talk fast and ramble. I hope you can understand. It's not like, yeah, so I mentioned before, it's not impossible for women to not get bulky. If you want to get bulky, you can put enough effort in, it could happen. There's a lot of athletes who've got a good shape and good size to them. If you think of like Jessica Ennis-Hill and the sprinters, there's potential there. But generally speaking, those type of women, the genetics are in their favor, so they may have a little bit more testosterone than the average woman, so they can get a little bit more bulky, or they just work extremely hard and they just make it happen. Or in the case of bodybuilders, they use steroids to help manipulate that. But for the purpose of beginners getting started with lifting weights, and for what we'll be doing the 7 days and what I'll be advising and going forward, even beyond these 7 days, getting bulky is not going to be a concern. So don't worry about that. You're not going to get bulky. Is there any questions to anyone who's on? I'm sorry, I can't see who is on the names, but welcome everyone if you are on. I think it says 3 people are watching. So yeah, I just wanted to say in regards to the challenge, like every morning 6 a.m. the video will get uploaded. I've done the deadlifts yesterday, then half of the squats, and then my camera went dead, so I'm going to record the rest of the videos today. I wanted to keep it fresh and in my mind, and also based on what you have informed me about what you want to learn about. So this is not something I've done weeks ago and I just put it together now. This is something I'm doing based on what you are telling me, what you want to learn, like the form and stuff, which I predicted anyway, most of it, but there's some interesting stuff in there, like alterations, like things you can add on to what you're already doing. Now, like I said, the challenge is about doing one. It's predominantly for beginners. I know some of you might be a little bit more advanced and you can train on top of this challenge to make it harder, but the main focus is to get you to do one exercise a day. And by the end of the week, by the way, you've done a pretty decent workout, especially when it comes to the last day and you do the full body workout with pieces all together, and then you understand and know what you need to do going forward. And it's all about just doing the simple things starting from the beginning. I know it can be tempting to when you get carried away and get ahead of yourself and speed up the results and speed up the process, but it's really, really important to just start with the basics and learn everything properly. Like most of you are saying, you want to know correct form and technique, etc. So that's what this is about, is just going through the best exercises to do, the main ones, how to do them properly. You'll learn each and every day, and then all that compounded effect of learning and understanding can be taken beyond this 7-day challenge to put together however you like. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. If there's any questions or anything at all you want to say, you can mention it now if you're on the video, or if you're watching this later on, you can just leave a comment below this video or post it in the group or message me privately, whatever you want. I'll just clear up any questions or concerns that you might have. I'm just seeing if there's any comments that come in below. I'll give it a minute or so if anyone has anything. It could be anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be about weights. If you've got any concerns, anything you want to mention, let me know. But yeah, in the Q&A videos that I'll be doing each day, it'll be similar to this, where I'll be addressing people's questions that they've maybe sent me already, or on live, like now, if you ask any questions, or maybe just to elaborate on something from that morning's video. Maybe because if I didn't want to make the video too long, so I'll leave some things out and maybe leave it for the Q&A later. So, you know, I'm trying to cover all bases to make sure that everyone has what they need for the program. Okay, Adrienne, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I only have dumbbells at present. Will this still be suitable? Absolutely. All the demonstrations will have dumbbells, barbells, or body weight if you've got no weights. Ideally, you want to have weights, but if you've got really light ones or nothing, there's a body weight option for most things. Dumbbells will be fine. Are they heavy, Adrienne? What weight are they? Dumbbells is fine. I mean, we're going to be doing the deadlift, for example. You can use dumbbells for that, but you just won't be able to go all the way down the ground. But I've already filmed that yesterday. You'll see that on Monday, of a way you can still do a deadlift with dumbbells. With squats, you can still do dumbbells. Overhead press, you can do dumbbells. Bench press, you can do dumbbells. You can do dumbbells for pretty much everything, so I wouldn't worry about that. But the gyms will be open for Monday. I don't know if you are planning on going to the gym, but there's that option to maybe give it a couple of days if you're not that comfortable going to the gym yet. See how your weights get on. But I mean, even if you don't want to go to the gym this week coming, it's about learning and understanding what you can then do. Do you know what I mean? So it's like learning the basics, and then you can progress in the gym. 3.5 kilos. Well, that'll be fine. That'll be fine, especially for the learning process, Adrienne. If you're a beginner, you haven't done any before, or you've done very little, and maybe the form for you is something that you want to work on and make sure you're doing it correctly, then light as possible is the best way to go about it anyway, especially to start with. So yeah, that's totally fine. 3.5 kilos is great. And that'll be quite hard for an overhead press, because doing exercises over your head is going to be the hardest one to do, because there's only a tiny little shoulder muscle and a little bit of your arms pushing that weight. So it's going to feel challenging even with 3.5. So it'll be good for that. I'm not ready to go to a gym. Melanie, hello, Melanie, welcome. So we'll be doing the home version, that's fine. We'll just cover the whole body in the 7 days. Yeah, so each day is a different workout, so I'm focusing on one exercise per day, just so you can really focus and practice on that individual exercise. Some of them exercises work large parts of the body anyway, which is an added benefit. For example, the deadlift and the bench press and the cables as well. Not relevant for you, sorry. But the bench press, bench press, deadlifts and squats work large muscles in the body anyway, and lots of energy and lots of calories. But it'll be a different when you focus on one exercise each day, and then on the 7th day, I'll show you how you can piece all that together into a full body workout, which you'll do on that day, and then that's what you can do going forward. So yeah, it'll cover the whole body in 7 days, but it'll be like you're not doing a full body workout every day as part of the challenge anyway. But if that's like I said before, if you can do the exercise as part of the challenge, learn it, blah 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 blah. You know, follow the process, follow the video, and then after that, then you can do your own little workout. But like I say, you don't get too carried away and wanting to do the no problem, Melly, into doing everything too quickly. Like I say, just follow it step by step, and it'll all piece together. And then it's about a learning process and putting it all together so that afterwards you can then use it as a full body workout. But you want to learn each individual one, especially when we're dealing with, you know, the exercises we're dealing with. They're the best ones, but you want to know how to do them properly. All right, good stuff. Also, I've recently rotator cuff injury. If you're okay to exercise, Melanie, if you've been given the okay to exercise, I would just keep the weights light for the overhead movements, especially, and just warm up properly. Have you seen a physio about it? If so, they probably would have given you some like warm up exercises to do. How serious was the injury as well? Because sometimes they can be really painful if the injury was bad. But if it's just a little bit of pain in there, you could probably get away with some light workouts just for the sake of the challenge and practice and the form. Do you know what I mean? Remember, it's not necessarily about doing a gut busting workout every day. This, especially not in your situation. You're here to learn the exercise as well, so it's a learning process. So you can take what you learn to use once you're fully recovered. It doesn't mean you have to, you know, try and bust a gut on the overhead presses because you've got an injury. Just take your time on that one. Just don't push yourself too hard on that exercise, and just, you know, work harder on the leg ones and just give your shoulder some time to recover, and then you can start to progress with that. Leanne's looking forward to it. Good stuff. I like this live setup. Actually, it never used to be this good. Right, yo. Well, if there's no more questions, I'll wait to see if Melanie's going to pop in about the shoulder, how serious that was. Then I'm going to go and walk the dog. I don't know about where yous are, but it's surprisingly quite sunny in Newcastle at the moment. So I'm going to get out and walk the dog now before it takes a turn. Bloody hell, Melanie, how hard were you shutting that door? Were you angry? If you've seen a physio, that's fine. They'll probably give you the all clear to exercise, and I would just warm up beforehand. You know, even just something as simple as just warming up the body. It doesn't have to be like really like specific stretches of the shoulder. If you've forgotten how to do them, or if you don't want to waste the time or whatever, just generally warming the body up with some rotations, maybe just a bit of a walk, a slight jog, anything at all that would just get some blood flowing through the body, just in some heat, just so you're not stiff, and it'll just help with the suppleness of the movement. Jesus, you must have been holding that plank forever, Adrian. These are some crazy injuries. Rotator cuff from doing planks and shutting the car door. Those are first. Yeah, so just take it easy. I mean, like I say in the videos, just start really slow, just ease yourself in, one day at a time, start light, and as we go on through the week, we can start to like and that's why I'm doing these Q&A videos as well, because once you've done like a workout or a exercise, even, you're probably going to feel you're probably going to have some questions like, am I doing this right, am I doing that right, should this be heavier, should this be lighter? So, you know, just like make some notes, or like I said, you could record the whole thing, or at least the exercise. You can post that into the group, or you can send it to me personally, and I can give you some feedback on it. And that's the whole point of this, is learning. You know, it's for beginners. We're here to learn. It's not about you know, going crazy from the get-go. No problem, Melanie. All right, girls. Well, I just wanted to give you that quick one today. There's some posts going in over tomorrow, and yeah, and then we'll start properly on Monday. So I'll see you then. Have a good weekend. Take care.